This is a video of me explaining why I think you should try bodyweight training in your next workout.
Well, he's the first Irish gymnast to make a world final, and I think he's just got himself onto the podium.
What style, absolutely fantastic.
I'm a professional gymnast, so when I work out, my goal is to get functional strength. This means that any strength exercise or conditioning exercise that I do is for a specific skill or movement to then better my gymnastics. So this then eliminates any muscle mass or conditioning that I essentially don't need for my sport. Gymnasts are arguably the fittest people on the planet, and their physiques show that too. Yet the majority of gymnasts never pick up weights when they're doing strength exercises, myself included. One reason that I believe that gymnasts have such great physiques is that every exercise that we do in terms of body weight conditioning, it hits so many different muscle groups. Whereas if you're just lifting weights, for example doing bicep curls, your bicep is the only thing that's getting worked out. Whereas in a body weight exercise, it can be your core, it can be your shoulders, your biceps, your forearms. Everything is getting a workout when you implement these gymnastics body weight exercises. It's very common for people to come up with exercises one day and then forget them the next day and then bounce between all these different exercises, inevitably missing out on specific muscle groups, whereas you need to consistently hit every muscle group. And a great way to do that is by doing an exercise like a bodyweight exercise that hits every single muscle group in your arm, for example. A second benefit of bodyweight exercises is that it's functional strength. And what I mean by functional strength is that you can actually use this strength outside of the gym. And this was very obvious to me that I had functional strength when I was a kid, you know, when I could climb trees, get up on walls very easily, and the other kids could not because, well, first of all, I doubt that they were doing any form of fitness, but I was also training functional strength and bodyweight exercises from a very young age. And the third benefit, and one of the most important benefits for me, is that it's way more fun. I find it so much more exciting, and I look forward to working out more when I want to learn specific skills. Skills that when learning, you'll also build muscle and fitness in general. This is something that I think that weightlifting doesn't offer, is that it's a repetitive movement. Everybody can lift it. It's just how much you can lift. It is being upside down in a handstand that completely changes your limits of how you can push your body, along the way keeping you fit and healthy and gaining strength. Of course, for the sake of balance, I'll also weigh up the negatives of bodyweight training. When you first start bodyweight training, it can be very challenging. For example, you can't just jump straight into a handstand position or into a planche lever position. You need to make very gradual progressions before you do the entire skill. Another thing is you need to prepare your body a lot more for bodyweight training. For example, stretching and regularly stretching before sessions. That's something that I believe that people avoid a lot, and something you don't really need for weightlifting. But when you do all these different exercises at bodyweight training where your body is moving in such strange ways, you need to prepare your body correctly for that. So that's a downside in the fact that people don't like to necessarily stretch. And stretching in itself is a challenge because you do need to make progressions in that also, and gradually make yourself more flexible, which people don't really have the time or effort for. Also, the convenience of learning different bodyweight exercises is extremely useful. This past year, of course, everybody's been in lockdown, in isolation. When asked in interviews if I found it a challenge to stay fit during lockdown, I just said no, it wasn't, and I put it down to my gymnastics training and the fact that I know so many bodyweight exercises, and that is a hugely beneficial thing. It kept me fit throughout this lockdown when I had no equipment, nowhere to train. I was still able to maintain my physique and stay strong and healthy throughout the lockdown, even though I was just training in my back garden or in my bedroom. And I always get this question asked to me, is it too late for me to start gymnastics? The answer is no. It'll be maybe more challenging than when you were 8 years old starting in gymnastics, because you're obviously heavier than an 8-year-old, you're maybe less flexible, but Who doesn't love a challenge? And the reward mentally as well. For example, getting a new skill, being able to finally hold a handstand for 3 seconds is so much more rewarding than being able to lift 10 kilos more than you did last week. Well, that's quite a stretch actually. And that's why I fell in love with gymnastics in the first place. It was getting those new skills, then it was constantly a reward and drawing me back into the gym to do more, to push myself even harder, to get new skills continuously. And to this day, I still get as excited as a child would when I get a new skill in the gym. And there's so many different ways to challenge yourself in these exercises. For example, when you're doing a press to handstand, to make this even more difficult, you do it facing the wall and it makes you, stoop in more. It makes the entire exercise way more challenging. Getting assistance or help from a coach or training partner is also a very useful way of performing the skill itself while your coach or training partner is lifting off some of the weight of your own body. So this allows you to perform the full movements of each skill while just having that little bit of weight taken off. Don't get me wrong, I'm definitely not downplaying the importance of weight training or resistance training. My aim for this video is to just bring more attention towards bodyweight training and highlight the importance of it. I feel like it is constantly overlooked in the fitness world. However, it is definitely becoming more popular in the fitness world also. I'm seeing an increase of people becoming very interested and obsessed with bodyweight exercises, and it's a very good thing to see. I would love to hear what your guys' experiences are about bodyweight training. Have you ever tried it? If you have tried it, is it difficult? Comment below and I'll get back to you with any tips that you may need, or if you want to give me some information, it is certainly welcomed. I hope that you all enjoyed this video. It's a very different format to what I would normally do, the lazy editing, the daily vlogs. It's very different, but I thought I'd give it a go and see how it is. So I'd love to hear you guys' feedback, but most of all I hope that you just enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.